Oasis came out of the gate with what is considered one of the best albums of all time, in the United Kingdom at least. Definitely Maybe was written entirely by 27-year-old Noel Gallagher, someone who grew up in a post-Beatles world and with a strong sense of the narrative of rock and roll bands. Before their first record was even released, Noel had All Around the World set aside for a third album when the band would have a bigger sound. Album 1 was to be the debut, Album 2 would perfect the formula, and Album 3 would be the epic with orchestras and all. And, against all odds, Noel's dreams came true. Definitely Maybe was a hit. What's the Story, Morning Glory, an even bigger one. Along the way, releasing single exclusive B-sides that are easily as good as anything on the albums, if not better. And while the third album did follow Noel's plan and was an initial success, the album quickly became seen as a bloated mess, even by the band themselves.
It's the sound of a bunch of guys on coke in the studio not giving a fuck. There's no bass to it at all. I don't know what happened to that. It's all and all the songs are really long and all the lyrics are shit, and for every millisecond Liam is not saying a word, there's a fucking guitar riff in there in a Wayne's World style, you know. Fucking air guitar gone mental. But Liam thinks it fucking rocks.
At that time we thought it was fucking great, and I still think it's great. It just wasn't Morning Glory, and I'm sick of these people going on about Definitely Maybe. Fuck Definitely Maybe. It's over, you know. Fuck Morning Glory, it's over.
People will bitch about it for the rest of their lives, you know. But, you know, fucking sell it. You get £4 or £5 for it, I would imagine. Come round to my house, I'll sign it for you. Probably get a tenner then.
After that, Oasis entered a lean period. Noel and his brother Liam became the only two original members to stay in the band. Standing on the Shoulder of Giants was recorded with just them and drummer Alan White, who had joined for Morning Glory. Oasis Mach 2 added Andy Bell and Gem Archer, who each would write a song for Heathen Chemistry, the band's fifth album. While these two albums from this transition period have their fans, they are not as fondly remembered as the first three albums. But it still carries that charm and goodwill from the Britpop movement in late 90s Cool Britannia. Don't Believe the Truth was heralded as a comeback for the band. Oasis would settle into what would be their final recording lineup, replacing Alan White with Zach Starkey, son of Ringo Starr and modern drummer for The Who, up until recently. This is a great representation of the British invasion throwback sound that the album has. Lila and the Importance of Being Idle somehow managed to top British charts in the 21st century while sounding like they could have come right off of a Kinks album. Noel even acknowledged the latter as being directly inspired by the Kinks in Q magazine. That said, I tend to agree with Pitchfork's review, which calls the album the chilling conclusion of their discography's trilogy of shame. However, it was a step in the right direction for the band. Dig Out Your Soul was released a few years later in 2008. The album was almost a retcon of Be Here Now. They were back at Abbey Road, the recording home of their heroes, the Beatles. They had not recorded at that studio since Be Here Now. The collaborative nature of the past two albums returned, with Gem and Andy contributing a song each and Liam contributing 3. The album has the ambition of Be Here Now without the bloat. It manages to sound like classic Oasis, their influences, and something new all at once. The group was now in their late 30s, early 40s, and looking back fondly on their younger days, even if not explicitly stated in the lyrics. Like a lot of Oasis, it sounds like the Beatles, but this isn't a clear Revolver pastiche, nor is it really Sgt. Pepper or even the White Album. It's hard to pin down what era they are aping exactly. It could be that they just absorbed the general vibe of Abbey Road, something that the band would be the first to admit.
It's round the corner for the start, and the Beatles obviously did all their stuff, and we're Beatleheads.
You kind of walk over the zebra crossing every morning, dodging Spanish tourists.
The album acts as a conclusion to both the original iteration of Oasis, another take at the massive scale of Be Here Now, and to Oasis version 2, with the non-Noel songs being some of the standouts of the album and at the same quality as Noel's songs. The album opens up with the rocker Bag It Up, which features some of Noel's famous borrowing from other songs. The turning has a cinematic quality that helps define the album, ending in police sirens and a riff taken from Dear Prudence. Waiting for the Rapture showcases the apocalyptic and biblical themes and aspects of the album. The Shock of the Lightning was the album's lead single and the most energetic Oasis recording since the early 90s, possibly ever. These songs were all written by Noel. I'm Out of Time is the second single from the album and the second Liam song to be released as a single. It would be hard to call this anything other than Liam's best composition, the perfect culmination and embodiment of his John Lennon obsession. Even including a sound clip of Lennon at the end of the song. Get Off Your High Horse Lady is another Noel song and not a standout. Its inclusion on the album was up for debate, but it helps the album as a whole by adding another atmospheric track. Falling Down is Noel's last composition on the album and his last on any Oasis album. The song gives a hint of what would follow in his solo career, with a trance-like rhythm. This is Noel's final attempt at doing his own Tomorrow Never Knows, something he first attempted on the Chemical Brothers song Setting Sun, which actually had a working title of Tomorrow Never Knowles. There would even be a Chemical Brothers remix of Falling Down, bringing the whole thing full circle. To Be Where There's Life is the first non-Gallagher brother composition on the album, written by Jim Archer. A strong bass groove mixed with a toy sitar creates the most Beatley sounding track on the album, which is saying something. The title of the album even comes from a line in the song, which again shows just how collaborative the band was at this point. Ain't Got Nothing is written by Liam and the beginning of the disappointing end of the album. A fine little rocker, but when paired with the next two songs, it can't help but let the listeners down a little bit. The Nature of Reality, written by Andy Bell, is another track that's high on atmosphere and might work better on a longer album, but is far from offensive. Liam's Soldier On closes the album on a whimper, but a fitting song to end Oasis's career on. Or at least the original run, if they ever record again. The end of a long party and a reminder to, well, soldier on. But just when everything seemed to be going well, the band broke up during the tour to support Dig Out Your Soul. Noel decided to go solo while the rest of the group formed the band BDI. Noel re-teamed with the producer of Dig Out Your Soul, Dave Sardy, and produced an album made up of songs from a variety of eras. Stop the Clocks had been written in 2001 and was even used as the title of an Oasis Greatest Hits album released in 2006. Others, like I Want to Live in a Dream in My Record Machine, were up for inclusion on Dig Out Your Soul, and of course, others were written after the release of Oasis's final album. The album opens with the epic Everybody's on the Run, a song with lyrics that harken back to early Oasis songs like Live Forever. It's an us against the world feeling and a longing to leave, whether it's a town, a relationship, or even a band. Noel claims that his lyrics are often nonsense, which sometimes they are. He often acts as a human AI algorithm that synthesizes classic lyrics from other bands and puts them into a package that sounds like it means something, but often doesn't. That said, that's not always the case, as Noel might claim. While the song might not have been written explicitly about the Oasis breakup, Noel certainly knows what he's doing, making it the first track on the album. The next track, Dream On, is standard late-era Oasis Noel Gallagher. The lyrics are vague, but work for the song. If I Had a Gun was leaked on the internet before the album was released, like a number of songs on this album. It is also from a group of songs that were being played during sound checks on Oasis's final tour. The album is full of straightforward love songs, the kind that Oasis had steered away from, especially during their later years.
Stop the world and make you mine, and every day would stay the same with you.
The Death of You of Me is almost like a rewrite of The Importance of Being Idle. Again, it shows Noel knows which songs will be taken as about him and his brother, and this song was released as the first single. Lyrically, it brings up themes of escape and love that have already been shown to be major themes on the album, just 4 songs in. I Want to Live in a Dream in My Record Machine is a song that had been kicking around for the past few Oasis albums, and as previously stated, was up for inclusion on Dig Out Your Soul. It is brought back here, and what could have been an epic album closer instead closes the first half of this album. It's not hard to imagine how it might have sounded on Oasis's final album, but it still fits perfectly on this one.
Show me the path that leads to all the glory, the words that tell a sacred story. Better let out fire where it's cold. Wanna live in a dream in my record machine. Want a piece of the world.
The song ends on an outro that serves as a preview for Stop the Clocks, bringing to mind how an acoustic version of Morning Glory is used at the beginning of Acquiesce. AKA What a Life is an up-tempo, dance-inspired track. This gives a clue into where Noel's solo sound will go without feeling out of place. It is one of the 2 songs on the album that follow the format of AKA in the title. Again, Noel is just doing these little things to create links between songs on the album. Soldier Boys and Jesus Freaks is about as political as Noel has ever gotten, which is to say, not very much at all. AKA Broken Arrow is the second AKA song on the album. The lyrics are very dig out your soul while the production is very high flying birds, if that makes sense.
Fallen angel, the broken arrow, she come for me and ease my troubled mind. Shine a light out into the shadows of a world.
Stranded on the Wrong Beach illustrates the progression of the loose narrative of the album, from trying to get away in the opener to being stuck in the wrong place, not quite where you want it. Stop the Clocks is the masterpiece of the album, directly begging to go back in time.
The clocks and turn the world around. Let your love lay me down.
The song is so good that it almost makes you wonder if Noel had been purposely holding it back for his first solo album. While that's probably not the case, it manages to blend in perfectly with the rest of the songs, creating a narrative that is just enough to make it a classic album, but not some kind of concept album or rock opera. It's there if you look for it, but just don't look too deep into it. The album takes you on a journey whether you know about Noel's past with Oasis or not.
And when the night is over,
These two albums back to back create a yin and yang, one with collaboration, hard rocking, and biblical lyrics, and the other the work of mainly one man, a bit mellower and open to experimentation, with lyrics of love and longing. The two work best side by side to give a glimpse at a mid-career Noel Gallagher creating some work that rivals his best.